Gentlemen, start your engines.
Welcome to the 3.5. I'm Seth Sharp alongside of my brother, Sutton Sharp.
Today we're going to be reviewing the 1987 TranSouth 500 from Darlington International Raceway in 3.5 minutes.
During the week, Alan Kowicki's 3-car, 5-crew-member operation got even smaller. He arrived to Darlington without a crew chief. After Alan's speedway car was destroyed the previous weekend, he had to bring his short track car, named Sirloin, to the track instead. He previously sat on the pole with this car at Richmond.
Ken Schrader continued his surprising start to the 1987 season, collecting his first career Winston Cup Series pole while edging the top 2 drivers on the series in the process. Dale Earnhardt qualified second, while Bill Elliott started third. A very cloudy afternoon had drivers and teams on edge, as rain was expected to arrive by the end of the race.
Once the green flag waved, Earnhardt quickly jumped out front. He led the first 23 laps before the caution came out for a spinning Michael Waltrip. Waltrip entered the race on Sunday on a high note after winning the ARCA race on Saturday afternoon.
The first 145 laps were scattered with problems for multiple drivers. Rookies Steve Chrisman and Davey Allison were both involved in spins. Greg Sachs lost 18 spots in the pits, and Rick Wilson had to go to the garage with an engine issue. The first major accident of the race ended the days of Ricky Rudd, Lake Speed, and Terry Labonte, while also collecting Benny Parsons and Morgan Shepherd. Labonte suffered a broken shoulder in the incident.
Earnhardt continued his Winston Cup dominance, leading 164 of the first 175 laps before a caution came out for oil on the track. This shuffled the front of the field, handing the lead to Ken Schrader and then to Buddy Baker.
The scariest incident of the day occurred when Bobby and Davey Allison collided. As Davey's car sat engulfed in flames, Bobby ran from his battered machine to try to help Davey escape the wreckage. Luckily, Davey had already made his way out of his car unharmed. Buddy Baker continued to pace the field after the extended delay, before losing control of his own car and crashing out of the lead.
The race for the victory came down to Earnhardt and Elliott once again, but both drivers were unsure if they could make it to the finish without pitting for fuel. Earnhardt came in with 11 laps to go, handing the lead over to Elliott. As Elliott tried to conserve fuel, Earnhardt continued to gain on Elliott. On the final lap, Elliott ran out of gas in the 4th turn as Earnhardt passed him for the victory.
Bill Elliott would coast home in second, while Richard Petty, Sterling Marlin, and Ken Schrader rounded out the top 5.
Harry Gant, who entered the race 25th in points after a tough start to the season, finished 7th.
Buddy Baker, who led the race early on, would finish a disappointing 25th.
Earnhardt gained 10 points on Elliott, extending his points lead to 71. Neil Bonnet sat 3rd, Darrell Waltrip was 4th, and Richard Petty, who continued to impress, left Darlington 5th in points. Bobby Allison dropped out of the top 10 and sat 12th in points. Tune in next week as we recap the 1987 First Union 400 from North Wilkesboro Speedway.